Oh man, it wasn't until about pro day. I met with them at pro day in Michigan, and
what's going on, Bears
I feel like it went really good. I feel like they like me. I like them a lot.
Just an intro video.
And but obviously you never know on this day, so I didn't know, but I feel like it went well. And now, man, they're in a place I'd rather be, so I'm excited for it.
Pat Finley.
What's that?
Hey, Colston.
Just calling on our next reporter.
Colston, tell me, how far along are you with your shoulder? The Bears said they think you'll be good by training camp.
Oh, yeah.
And what's it been like kind of having this injury and having to rehab it during a pretty important part in your life?
Yeah, it was difficult for sure. You know, you never want to go through something like that during this process, but, you know, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I believe he's always got a path for us. And, you know, whatever he picks for us that's what it's meant to be. So I'm glad it was meant to be with the Bears. Like I said, I'm super excited, and yeah, I just thank God for this.
Josh Buckhalter.
Hi, Colston. Welcome to Chicago. Just talk to me about your experience the last couple of years. Went to that championship run, and then this year, kind of the going from that into maybe a down year during the season, but a hype in the pre-draft process.
Yeah, Michigan was a blessing to be able to go there. Loved it there, everything about it, the people, the town, the football, obviously. And I feel like, we won that national championship, had a good couple years there. We did a lot. Wish, obviously, could have done better last year, but, you know, this whole process has been amazing. Like I said, like I'm one of the few to get to go through this and do this. So, it's a full blessing. I'm taking full advantage of it and, you know, not taking it for granted. So, yeah, it's super special, and, yeah.
Thanks.
Jason Leisure.
Hey, Colston, what were your conversations like with Ben Johnson, and what was your excitement about the possibilities for you in that offense?
Yeah, like I said, we met at pro day, and just love the guy. Obviously, before I even met him, just watching Detroit last year, the things that they were doing, you know, just like, man, really smart, knows what he's doing, knows football. And, you know, finally being able to talk with him and meet with him and kind of pick his brain. Number one fan of that guy for sure. He's legit. He's a stud, and I can't wait to be under that. I know he's going to put us in great positions, put Chicago in great positions to win games, and I'm just super excited for it.
Let's go to Kevin Fishbane.
Hey, Colston, congratulations. Jeff King was just talking about your upbringing, you know, growing up in Gooding, Idaho, and talking about your toughness. Curious kind of your upbringing, how that kind of has shaped you, intangibles, and kind of your off-the-field mentality that the Bears really liked.
Yeah, like you said, coming from a place like this, very small town, blue collar, great community, great family. I was blessed, obviously, like my family did many sacrifices. They've sacrificed a lot for me to be here. So, and I know that, and I appreciate that, and I want to give it all back to them, you know, eventually. So just like it's been a process, and I feel like Idaho, like these people, I mean, I got 150 people with me right now, and 500 more going to the country club to watch. So it's just the support system, and, you know, the people here really molded me to be a good person. You know, humility, show humility, work hard, and just do the right things. You know, and obviously going to continue to do that, and just strive.
Bears Nation, what's up? We will be live.
We'll
be on camera in a second.
Sorry, it's my first time using Zoom, Colston. Question for you on just all that you went through last year, obviously the shoulder, and being able to come back from that too.
What's going on, Bears Nation? Give us a couple more seconds. We will be on camera shortly. Nation, what's going on? It's CNG Podcast, and I'm G Walker, and I got my guys with me, man. How y'all fellas doing out there, man?
What's up, G?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm chilling.
Got a little bit of interference from somebody. What's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Somebody got to mute something in their background. Hold on. It looked like that was CJ microphone. CJ, you had some interference in the background, man. So, Alan, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Chilling, man. How you guys doing?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good right about now, man. How you feeling, man?
Hey, man. After the draft, man, it's been kind of, checking out all the players that's coming to the team, and checking the draft boards and checking out all the prognosticators. It just made me feel good that we finally kind of put together a draft that can last 2 or 3 years with the people we got, like good depth pieces. Like, it was a quality draft, and I'm proud of Ryan for being a good administrator, and he got another pick for next year. So he did really good this year as far as the administrative part.
Yeah, I gotta agree. So, hey, Carl, I see you in here, Carl. Let me know if you want me to send you the link to the show, and I meant to send you the link so you can come in here to the show tonight with us, man. So if you in here, Carl, I can get off camera, man. I can send you the link real quick, but let me know if you want to get in here and call and talk some ball. Yeah, I'm glad, man. They hit on a lot of things I thought they would hit on, man. I didn't expect them to take a tight end with the 10th pick overall. I did not expect that at all. At number 10, I thought we was going to go for a pass rush. I thought we might have went for a tackle or something like that. So the fact that we came out with a tight end, you know what I mean, with that 10th pick, like I wasn't feeling it at first, but this is Ben Johnson's draft. This is Ben Johnson's coming out party. You know what I mean? So yeah. Ben Johnson was going to get what he wanted, get who he wanted. And I really don't have a problem with it, man. A lot of people in the in Bears Nation pretty much had come around to the fact that we got a tight end at 10, but everybody was looking at Tyler Warren. Yeah, Tyler Warren would look good if you're looking for a guy that could, you know what I mean, run somebody over and truck guys like that. But when you're looking for a guy that's a little bit more of a better route runner, it looks like Colston Loveland was a better pick to fit this offense. So, CJ, how you feeling, bro? What you think about the draft so far?
I think it was pretty good. I think Bears hit on the right players for one particular team. I think they with the holes that they had in their team, they needed to fill up. I think they did a good job with that. The offensive line, of course, they come off the army, you can wide out. So I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think so too.
Bro, we got bad interference, man. You gotta come back. Probably gotta come back in and come back out. So
yeah, I'll come out. I'll go out too.
No, you good, Alan. You good. We got Carl saying hello. What's going on, Carl? We got Carl saying he in this bitch. What's going on, bro? Then we got Carl saying I need to hear what Alan. Hold on. You said I need to hear what Alan thinks about passing on Tyler Warren for Colston Loveland. OG, you up, baby?
Hey, man, look. Oh, this is for you, man. It was tough over the weekend, man. But you know what? I'm gonna live with it, man. Ty Warren, I feel like, he's got the potential to be really great. And the things I heard about him over the weekend, it kind of was a bummer a little bit. But listening to Coach Wanstead today, Coach Wanstead said that Loveland Colston, yeah, he was a great tight end coming in. He was a freshman. Starting with Jim Harbaugh. You can't. Jim Harbaugh runs a pro-style offense. So running a pro-style offense, and he really was an all Big Ten contributor. You can't take nothing away from the kid. So I'm gonna go with it. Ben Johnson was a tight end coach for 3 to 4 years. He was at BC as a tight end coach. He started off as a tight end coach for the Lions, so he knows tight end. So I'm a run with Ben on this one. I know I wanted Ty Warren, but he's with the Colts, and I'm gonna wish him well. I'm gonna keep my eye on him, but I'm gonna run with Colston because he's a good fit. Watching film, he's definitely gonna bring something to the tight end room. Cole Kmet, I feel like it's gonna be a good bridge for him, like to further the offense. So I'm gonna go with it, man. I think they did a good job.
There you go, man. But we're gonna get into some content right here, man. We're just gonna get into it. We actually got Andy from the Bears Den podcast coming in here at about 7:30. We're gonna get his takes and everything like that. So everybody just hold on, give us 1 second. All right, the first overall pick for the Chicago Bears was Colston Loveland, man. The kid looks like the guy that Ben Johnson wanted, man. He can run routes, he can block, he can go vertical. We even had Nick Saban say pretty much that he was the best athlete on the field and he beat him. Nick Saban said that a bit about this guy. Nick Saban is a GOAT of college football. Nick Saban is the GOAT. So
he is the GOAT.
Kind of love from Nick Saban, man, this kid right here is going to come here immediately and do work. He's not going to waste no time. He doesn't look like a project that you necessarily got to have somebody be a project. Looks like somebody that's going to come in ready to play, ready to compete and get catches. So, CJ, what you think about him right here being the 10th overall pick, man?
I mean, I watched this tape and I saw he was stretching the field a lot. So I think that's what Ben Johnson's gonna do. You see, like they use Sam Laporte in Detroit. They're kind of gonna have that same type of style of a pass catcher and whatnot. So this kid can feature a lot in the Bears offense this year.
Hey, CJ, mute your mic when you get done talking. So, Alan, this is what we got from Ian Rappaport. It says every year we got a player that pretty get hot at the right time. He got hot late. Last night, that player was Tyler Colston. And there was a couple of teams that was trying to trade up for him, man. So the fact that Nick Saban gave him his praises, Dave Wannstedt gave him his praises, Ben Johnson went up and got him. Now you're hearing that teams are pretty much trying to trade for him. What does that say about him now? How much confidence do you have in him now?
Oh, I seen that report today, and I think it's Sunday, that a couple teams wanted to come up and get him at 9 and 11, between 9 and 11. And the Bears, I think the Bears might have traded out that pick if they didn't get those calls. Because I know the board didn't warrant Loveland to go at 10. The board was saying 14 or 15. But with that late push for him, that made him too appealing to pass because that was the guy. They made the choice that they were going tight end, but they wanted Colston instead of Tyler. So it worked out for everybody involved, especially us. And hopefully it worked out for the Colts too. But that late run for that tight end, that goes to show when the tackle went off the board at 9, it was going to go a run on playmakers after the tackles. So I think 2 tackles went in the top 10, if I remember. No, 3 went in the top 10. So that wasn't expected. So the draft fell into our lap, and you gotta love what we got out of it for a good quality pick from our tight end.
Yeah, man. Hold on, we got somebody in the comment section right here. What up, Darcy, man? What up, though, man? we missed you on the last NFC North Pro podcast. Your wife kicked you out the show, man, but you know. We back up in the building right now, man. Shout out to Darcy and the Detroit News podcast over there, man. We appreciate you, Darcy. One of our brothers from the NFC North, the podcast, man. We appreciate you, man. Here, we got a comment from Carl right here saying 3 tackles, Ashton Jeanty and Mason Gann were in top 10. A nightmare scenario. So the nightmare scenario, Alan. So why would that be a nightmare scenario, man?
Well, you know our nightmare was gonna be Ashton Jeanty coming to 10. We didn't want that. So, and then Mason Graham could have failed if he didn't go to the 4th. If he didn't get the 4th pick, he was going to slide. So he could have went to, close to 10, which would have threw out the draft board again. So those 3 players kind of went to the places they were supposed to, and that kind of saved the board. You know what I mean?
I don't know why X will not allow me to see our comments. What up, Celeste? She says, "What's up, guys?" It's like my little sister right here, man. She's a big Bear fan, man. She's great at networking. So shout out to Celeste, man. We appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you do, man. Love you to death. She says, "What's up, guys?" For some reason, they won't let me show the comments on X, just YouTube and Facebook for some reason. Maybe it's something I got to fix. I have no idea. Yeah, man. The fact that all the 3 tackles went, Ashton Jeanty. Alan, you called that from a long time ago. We both were saying that he's not falling down to 10, bro. Like, he was not going to fall down to 10. The Raiders needed a quarterback. And once the Raiders got Geno Smith, and once the Raiders got Pete Carroll and everybody over there, they was looking for a running back, man. They were looking for a running back. So it just made sense to us, at least on our podcast, at least from Alan, me, and CJ, that the best choice was to just for them to draft the running back. And they did. And the rest of the draft went the way it was going. After like 6 or 7 to 8 like that, like it was pretty much like pick your poison or pick who you wanted for the Chicago Bears, man. We could have went a lot of ways. We could have went Jaden Rocker. We could have went Mike Green, despite all the issues. We could have went a lot of different places at 10. So CJ, do you have a player in mind that you wanted to go to at 10 besides the tight end right here?
Not really. I thought they were gonna go probably defensive at 10, but the fact they went that kind of the fact they went Tobin was kind of was unexpected to me.
Yeah.
The fact they went tight end at that spot, and I think by the Bears doing that, it threw off the whole drive.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to keep it moving with our next piece of content right here, everybody. We appreciate everybody that's in here. We're going to get into the second round picks, man. We're going to talk about those guys for a second. The guys that I like right here. We got a couple of them, but I'm going to just talk about these guys right here real quick. Shemar Turner and Luther Burden III at 39. This is the guy we wouldn't have forgot. Alan is already shaking his head. Alan was pretty much saying a lot of these guys were reaches, man. So, Alan, you got the floor. What problem did you have with either Luther Burden III or Shemar Turner?
Now, Luther Burden III, he's the best player in this class for our team. He's going to be an instant star. He will start, whereas Lovelane will not start. Cole will start. But he will start as our slot receiver. And Turner, I think Turner, he had a high grade. I think he was like ranked in the top 30s, but he had an injury concern. I think he was coming off a stress fracture in his foot. So, but they were saying he worked out in the pro day and he looked pretty fluid, so they went with him. So, I felt like we could have got Turner if we would have waited, but the trade that we made with Buffalo gave us that second round or so. I guess it was probably best to go ahead and take him if he was on your draft board. See, that's what we don't know, GNC. Who was on our board? Like, that's not something that public knowledge that we know. So we can go by what the, NFL Network and, Mel Kiper, you go by those boards, but that's not every team's wants and needs. So I'm going to take Turner as a good pick. Osley is the one I'm most intrigued with because he's 6'8", 315 pounds, and he's a right tackle. So we talked about before the draft the night before that Wright might end up going to left tackle. So it might be a good chance, man. We might see that this year, depending on if Jones, our starting left tackle, gets healthy or not.
Yeah, I like the fact that we went out there and got a guy that pretty much could play on all sides of it. He played left tackle, he played inside, He played everywhere, man. He's 6'8", 316 pounds, man. He's a nimble guy. He's fast. He's big, man, and he's played a bunch of positions. And he's not he's a project, but he got experience in places that some other players that's probably been here, like Karan or somebody like that. You can pretty much throw him anywhere. So the fact that he played inside, outside, 6'8", pretty much a giant. He could put his hands up. And I did like what he said. Somebody asked him in the interview, they said, "What don't you like about pass rushers?" He said, "I don't like because I'm so tall, they can get under my shoulder pads." So, Alan, you are ex-offensive lineman, man. So speak on that. When you're a taller guy, you got guys smaller than you getting up under those, getting up under your shoulder pads. What type of problems does that cause?
Well, thank God I didn't have them problems. I'm 6 foot. But, I can come off the ball and fire off. But in his case, he's everything he's doing, he's going down. So that means his balance and his core got to be strong. And that requires a lot of core work. See, in the NFL, guys, like I've been saying, got ballerinas, man. And so he's the right tackle. You're asking him to be on the island sometime. Most of the time, that's more your running tackle, your running side. So he gets to fire off the football. But in the NFL, left and right tackle are going to be on the island sometimes, especially during empty sets. And I know Ben does some empty with Caleb, with any quarterback. So that means you're going to be on the island. You don't have anybody that's going to chill. So that's going to be an issue with him maybe at the beginning. Hopefully they can work on that. But it's really, you can't really teach it. It's got to be live where he can get down and, squat and keep his balance. Because by him being 6'8", he can lose his balance real quick. Because most of the guys he's going to go against is like 6'3" or 6'4", like Turner. They're going to be compact. So the first thing they're going to do is try to get him up, get his nose to the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like coaches tell, don't get your nose to the sky. Meaning that you're looking through your helmet. You don't want to do that. When you're an offensive lineman, you need to stay with your eyes to the target. So that's the thing he has to work on. But with technique and he show his power and he punished a couple of guys, he'll get that pretty easy. But it's going to take time because BC is not the Detroit Lions. That ain't Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson is a whole lot different from anything he's seen in BC. So it's going to take him a little bit to get right.
Right. So, CJ, man, out of these second-round picks, man, who do you like the most? Do you like the wide receiver? Do you like Shamar Turner, defensive tackle, defensive line, or do you like Ozzie right here, man?
I mean, I like all of them. They all bring a different, a good skill set. When you look at Luther, man, he's just an all-around talent, man. It's gonna be some things that he's gonna have to clean up to get better at. But he's just a good talent. And Turner, he gets inside that backfield every time with that move he does. What move he does.
He got a bad.
Yeah, honestly, he's a good blocker, man. I was watching tape on him yesterday. He's a pretty good blocker on that right side. So I think the Bears did a good job in the second round getting the guys they need to get.
G, your mic off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Andy from the Bears Den podcast that just came in here. I'm gonna bring him on to the show. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring him on. Andy. Give me 1 second. Yo, there he is right there. Andy from the Bears Den podcast. What's going on, bro?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
What's up,
man?
Andy?
We doing pretty good, man. So the draft is over, man. We're talking about those second round picks, man. We're talking about Luther Burden III, and we're talking about Shamar Turner, and we're talking about the big fella, the giant, the ogre. You know what I'm saying? The big fella. You can't do nothing with him, Ozzie Tripolo. So what are your thoughts about these second round picks, and who's your favorite, who's your least favorite? Like, what do you think? Did you have the guys like this that you picked out on your board, or you just was waiting to see who we got?
Luther Burden was definitely not on my board for the second round. I think they really wanted Travion Henderson, or would have been interesting to see if Henderson would have been there, what they would have done. But Burton was definitely not on my board, but after reviewing some tape on him and looking him up and doing some research, I like this kid. He's going to be electric with the ball in his hands. I think he's going to be amazing. And I think our wide receiver room, it should cook. Like you always say, it should cook. There should be no doubt we should put points on the board. And Shamar Turner, he fits Dennis Allen's scheme. He can play all four positions on that defensive line. So I looked him up as well. He said he actually played 5 positions on the defensive line. So I think he fits what we want to do. Moving the defensive end, moving the defensive tackle, I think he fits very well. And like you said, Tripillo is a big man.
That's a big dude.
Like your guys say, you can't teach size. And this guy is, I think he's listed as 6'8".
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard rumors that they want to put him at right tackle and try Darnell Wright at left tackle. I don't know about that, but I mean, he should push Braxton Jones, I hope. And if Braxton Jones can't go at training camp or when training camp starts, I think he's going to be our left tackle, or they're going to push Darnell to left tackle and move him to right tackle. I mean, I like all 3 of these picks. They all, you can argue Burton didn't fill a need, that we needed a running back or more defensive line help or maybe a linebacker. You can argue that, but man, I think the value was too great there. I mean, he had a first-round grade and was still available in the second round. I would have taken him too, probably, unless Henderson was still on the board. Then I would have had to sit there and think for a couple minutes. Probably used up all 9 minutes and 59 seconds before making a pick. If Henderson was still there.
Yeah, man, I like what everybody said, man. And the thing that pointed me out about Ozzie, why they might have picked him, because we got Braxton Jones coming off an injury, man. We got Braxton Jones who can't handle a bull rush. We got Braxton Jones that probably knows that Ryan Poles does not play injured players. Ryan Poles has not signed a person on an extension yet at all that has been predominantly injured. Like, you can say Kyler Gordon, but he hasn't been injured his whole career. So the fact you got Karan coming in, he's pretty much a blank canvas. We all want to see what Roschar can do with him. But at the same time, that's not enough. You want to build a farm with this left tackle position, man. You want to get a guy, like they said, he played inside, he played outside. He did a lot, man. So the fact that they got this type of prospect right here lets you know that they're serious about putting the right person in these lineups for this offensive line. And you can't go wrong with a kid like this, that's this big, this athletic, and that's played the most position on the offensive line. Then I also like the wide receiver and Luther Burden. Like, tape doesn't always show everything, because I was listening to Steve Smith Jr. in this podcast, like, they said that he's one of those players that he could be an E type of guy. He can be not always ready to perform. But the thing about him positive that I like about him, that he feels like he got picked over. He got looked over. So the fact that he's coming in here with a chip on his shoulder, the fact that he should have been a first-round pick, is letting me know everything I need to know about him personality-wise, because you want your players to match your head coach. Like, Ben Johnson is competitive. So he's bringing another dog on his team. It's the same way. Might have been looked over, might be down up, might be counted out, might be not look how he wanted to look to the national media and the football world. So he's going to carry that type of chip on his shoulder. He's going to pretty much play for Ben Johnson. He's going to pretty much run through a wall for Ben Johnson, man. So these 2 I like the most because it's a need to me. Another wide receiver, because I don't think DJ Moore is going to be here for the long call, so this guy could end up taking his spot. However you feel about it. So the fact that they're getting guys for depth and they're getting guys for the future that actually is going to produce, that look like real prospects, I like what Ben Johnson has done so far, and I like these picks. So CJ, Shamar Turner, man, what's your thoughts? Because we needed the big fella in the middle, man, because Billings is pretty much older. He's been injured. Grady Jarrett is just older. But we needed somebody, correct?
Yeah, and I mean he's a player that can bring a lot of pressure. When I see from him on tape, he's a guy that he seems like he gets in the backfield a lot while rushing. So I think he, you know, his potential is that he could be a guy that get in the backfield that can disrupt the quarterback, that can do a good job against the run. I think he'll be productive.
I gotta agree with you, CJ. I think he's gonna come in the Bears. He's gonna come on this team with a couple of veterans to learn from, some guys that know how to play in that middle. Billings is a veteran. And what's the other guy I'm thinking about? Brady Jarrett's a veteran. So he's coming in with some guys with some pedigree that's done it before. That's really been some dudes in this NFL, been in this league. Then we got Carl saying the Panthers should have drafted Luther Burden, aka Steve Smith Jr. at 8 instead of Tortilla McDonald's. What do y'all think about that before we move on, man? What do you think about those comments right there, Alan?
Hey, man, the Arizona receiver, man, like we've been saying, he can't teach height. That kid like 6'4", 6'5", and he moves like he's 6 foot. So, you know, it's more potential. He didn't have the productivity that Burden had. I know for a fact when Burden was on the board, because I don't think he had but one pre-draft meeting with the Bears. So, you know, I think when they seen him on the board, they couldn't pass him up because he's a first-round talent. He was higher ranked than Golden from the ones that the Packers got. So he shouldn't have been there. He should have been a first-round pick. So the Bears had it. That's a best player available. They had to jump on that, whether it was good or bad. They just had to get that talent in the locker room. And he was the number 1 wide receiver in high school just 2-3 years ago. So, hey, he's a dog. He's a dog.
Go ahead, Andy. If you got something, Andy, go ahead.
No, I agree with everything he said. I think Luther Burden, it just came down to the talent was just too great.
Yeah.
Too high on the big board to pass him up. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what they would have done if Henderson would have still been there. I think they really wanted Henderson. They expected Burton to be gone, not the other way around.
Yeah.
But I think when you got a value that great, if you're getting a first-round grade in the second round, I think you got to take them. You got to. I think they did the right thing.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing too, because you can't let talent like this just slip through your hands. That's something that Allen was pretty much saying with Tyler Warren, like you just let the best tight end on the board just go away. But then we found out he might not have been the best tight end on the board when you see the comments from these, you know, Nick Saban and Ian Rappaport coming to get him. But this guy right here, Luther Burden, I haven't been hearing that. I've just been hearing that he should have been a first-round pick. We're lucky to get him. He fits Ben Johnson's scheme. And the fact that we get a gem like this, and Allen, is he a blue chip to you? Like if he's a first-round prospect, he's a blue chip. So let me know at his position what makes him blue chip. You know what I mean? What will make him blue chip at that position?
Well, he was the number 1 wide receiver in high school, like 3 years ago. So that alone lets you know that he's dope. And then when you watch the film, G and C and Andy, when he gets the football, he got his nose to the end zone. And also, when you watch him run routes, I don't see nothing but green grass between him and the defender. And he was in the SEC. So he's just better. When he's on the field, it's old basketball term. He was the best player on the floor. He's that type of talent. When you see him,
he was a point guard in high school.
What I'm saying, he's an athlete. Like that's right. He was good in both sports. So that guy is a blue chip athlete. Like you can put him anywhere on the perimeter. You can put him in the backfield if you need 5 carries. He's bigger than DJ, like thickness wise. So he's faster than DJ. I mean, like you said, this move right here is a future move. You know, I believe this is a future move, and I applaud the move, and that's why I think blue chip wise, he was the best player in our draft to me that we got out this whole ordeal. He was the best player in our draft.
Yeah, because, and I agree with you, man. And I think that Colston was a tight end blue chip too. I think we got two blue chip players on offense right now, which was something that Allen and Andy and CJ, we was all like, who was the blue chip players that we're going to get? We talked about that a lot. Like, who are we going to get? So the fact that Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles knew what those blue chip players were, and they went and got him at 10, whether people were trying to come up for Colston or whether it was Luther Burton III that was slipping down, but he was a first-round talent with a first-round grade. And I'm asking you guys pretty much, is he a blue chip? We have two blue chip players that we can build on, like I said, for the future when certain guys are not going to get that next extension. So I'm so hyped that the Bears organization had vision with these picks with Colston and Burton III, man. So, you know what I mean, Andy? So do you think these guys are blue chips? Do you think they're going to come in right away? Because if these guys are who we think they are on offense, they're not going to be on the bench not getting reps, man. This is going to be a crazy, explosive training camp. So just speak on that, Andy.
I don't think you draft a tight end at number 10 to sit on the bench. I think he's could start from day one. But I think he'll get plenty of reps because Ben Johnson ran 12 formation, I think at 32% of the time, which was third highest in the league. And this kid is so diverse. He can line up at wide receiver. He can line up in the slot. He can line up in the backfield. I mean, I think Loveland, he may not start the first day, but I think he's going to be the starter by the end of the year. I think he's that good.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think he's that good. Like we were stunned when we were sitting there. Me, Clarence, and Todd. We were sitting there. We thought for sure Warren was going to be our pick at 10. Like, we did not see that one coming at all.
We did too, Andy.
We were stunned on that one. And Burton, I think will contribute right away too. He's going to be the number 3 for sure.
Oh.
Hold on. We got a couple of comments. We got Christy Love Sports. Shout out. She's following us now. She's on the YouTube page saying, what's up? What's going on, Christy? Then we got Devine in here on YouTube as well saying that's what's up. Then we got Nadia. I think she's waving to CJ. I think that's his wife. So we're going to keep it going, man. I think we're actually going to get into the real part of the show. Shout out to the 125 people in here right now. This is crazy, man. This thing has been blowing up this whole off season, man. So we cannot wait to have our pregame shows and postgame shows because those instant reaction episodes we do with Chicago, Clarence, and Andy, and Alan, and me and myself, like it's fireworks, man. So we can't wait to see you guys in our shows. But we're gonna get into the real part of this right now. We're gonna get into those other picks. We're gonna get into these picks right here. Now we get into the real part of the draft. Now we get into the real. We got Ruben Hippolyte, we got Zah Frazier, we got Luke Newman, we got Kyle Managi. Excuse me if I mispronounce his name. But Ruben, a linebacker. I think Zah is a corner, and I think Luke is a guard, and I think Kyle is a running back. We got our own Ashton Genty at home. We got Ashton Genty at home, ladies and gentlemen. He look just like from Rutgers. So these are, I think, our 4th and 5th round picks or something like that. So, CJ, anybody on this list that you just want to talk about? We got 131 people in here right now, man. We appreciate who's ever retweeting, reposting, and quoting and everything. So, what do you think about these picks right here?
Yeah, they go back to Kyle. He's very fast and very chippy. You know, the way he hits the line, the way he hits the hole, he just goes straight through, put his head down, and run straight through it, and he could run. He would run a DBO. Like I've seen him do it on tape. He would run a DB flat over. And that, you know, that's what you want to see for your running back. You know, you want to see your running back put his shoulder down and run guys over.
Yeah, man. So everybody was asking for a running back. So we didn't get. Everybody was asking for a running back. CJ, you mute your mic. Everybody was asking for a running back, and maybe in the 3rd round and the 4th round. We didn't get that, Alan. We didn't get them. We didn't get those guys. Those guys went to other teams. So, what do you think about the running back that we did get, or anybody else on this list right here, Alan?
The one thing I like about the running back we got, man, he didn't have a fumble in his career at Rutgers. That's all you need to know. The kid don't lose no money. That's what I get out of it. He don't lose his wallet, G and Andy and CJ. Right. He keeps us whole, man. So that's what I like about running backs, man. I can care less about running yards, this, that, and the first. Do he put it on the carpet? And he does not put it on the carpet. He runs really hard. He was a two-time captain at Rutgers, so he's got good leadership qualities. The kid is a quality guy, and he was first team Big Ten this year. You know, that's a lot. That's a lot to say, man. Be a Big Ten all-conference player, especially you got Henderson, you got the other running back from from Ohio State. Then you got a guy that we wanted from Iowa. You know, this kid, I don't know how he fell to the 7th round.
Oh, man, I messed up. My fault. My bad, Andy.
That's fine.
My bad about it. So Andy, man, these guys right here, Alan said a mouthful, man. He was really representing up in there in that Big Ten, man. But you got a guard right here, Luke Newman, man. Did you see any information about him?
I read that he played tackle for 4 years, then he transferred to Michigan State and he played guard. So that gives us flexibility, which is something we look for, as well as linemen who can play multiple positions. So he could be a future guard if we don't re-sign Thuney, which, say what you want, we still haven't re-signed him, so he could be our starter next year for all we know. And Zaw Frazier, there were reports out that Al Harris was pounding the table for this kid. This was his #1 target in the draft, and this kid is big. He's 6'3". So Al Harris was pounding the table for him, and this other one, Kyle, he's the exact opposite of DeAndre Swift, which I think Ben Johnson likes. I think he likes having that lightning and thunder type running back room. So he's more power straight ahead, gonna knock people over, and Swift is more shifty and fast. So I think he got his running back room at the end of the day that he wants. And Ruben, I've heard, is good in coverage and he's really fast. I didn't see him getting picked there. That's a reach. That was our overreach. Was he a reach?
That was a reach.
That was the only one that everybody said.
So what do you think we could have got him at? My bad, Andy.
Yeah, Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, I think we could have got him in the 6th round because they were projecting him to go in the 7th round. I was like, come on, Ryan, stop getting so. When he get his hand, he just fidgety sometimes. Like, you could have waited and got this guy. They say he's lightning fast, but you don't go up 2 rounds. You might go up 2 draft picks, but 2 rounds, that's a lot. That's a lot. But he's a bear. I'm gonna run with it, but I hope that don't come and bite us. There was still some good talent on the board in the 4th round.
You agree with him, Andy? Like it was a reach for you too? You couldn't believe it? Yeah. Let me know.
Well, you know, I would love to see the Chicago Bears draft board and see where they had him. I mean, they may have had him rated here. They may consider this kid that good that he's a hidden gem, and they feel like they had to take him because somebody else maybe knew what they knew. I mean, somebody else maybe knew what they knew, and they had to take him. But I was reading he was a 6th or 7th round draft pick, so that's the only draft pick that I've seen is a reach. Where the reports are out, we reached for that one. But if he turns out to be a stud, then we knew what we were doing all along.
Yeah, that's true too.
So Andy, you came in here a little bit after we talked about the young boy that went number 10 overall, Colston Loveland. Man, I didn't get you. I don't think I got your points and your take on him. What do you like about him, man? Because a lot of people wanted Tyler Warren, especially when we saw Jitsi wasn't going to fall to us. We know we need another tight end. You know, Cole Kmet doesn't have any more guaranteed money. He's not a good blocker. So the writing's on the wall. So the fact that they went out there and got the guy that they think they might, well, ain't no might. He's going to probably be the #1 tight end probably after this season. But what were your initial thoughts when we got him, man? Did you have him on your board, or did you have him at all, or you just was shocked like everybody else?
I was shocked. I thought we were going to go Warren there. I really thought we were going to go Warren there. But the more I read about him, and the more I research him, Ben Johnson considers him the perfect fit for his offense because he can do a lot. He can line up at wide receiver, tight end. He can line up at the end of the line. He can line up the slot. He can line up in the backfield. He's that good. I mean, I'm starting to like the kid more and more, but I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I did not see that one coming at all.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming either. But we're gonna get into the last part of the show. We probably got like 15 minutes left. That's one thing we don't do on CNG Podcast. We don't like to be in here too long. You know, these guys know ball. We don't waste the OG's time or the experts' time, and Alan or Andy, you know what I'm saying, or CJ. We don't do that. So we appreciate you coming in. But I want to talk about something that's gonna be coming up at camp. The left tackle position, man. CJ, this position is not solidified, CJ. This position is not something that's written in stone necessarily. You know what I mean? So when you see this picture right here, we got young Karan, that's pretty much a blank canvas. Then we got Braxton Jones coming off here. We got the 6'8" Ozzie right here, man. So this position at camp is going to be crazy. So, see, what's your thoughts about this? Because I can't wait for this competition at camp.
Yeah, man, left tackle position is definitely a position I'm going to be watching very closely when the Bears start going to training camp. But that's going to be a key to see who's going to win that position. I think Ozzie got it. You know, if they're going to put him there, I think he got it. You know, but the fact that the Bears got 4 guys that's going to be going after this position, you know, that's pretty good competition. You know, that's what you want. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 guys.
I didn't put the big dog Darnell Wright up there, man. I just kind of left him out there on purpose because I just think he's probably going to stay at right tackle. I know they're going to move some stuff around, but you got some guys that's out of these 3. One of these guys should be the left tackle. Darnell Wright should not have to be moved to play left tackle, man. Like, he should not. So, Alan, the competition at left tackle this year at this training camp, who's your favorite and who do you want to see win the position?
Hey, be honest, I like Karan, man. I want y'all to go back, or anybody, go back and watch that touchdown run from DeAndre Swift against the Washington Commanders. And when he went out there and he blocked 2 or 3 people on the way to the end zone and still was on his feet. So when a tackle does that lets me know he's athletic. It's correct. So that's what I like about Karan. I just think he got bad coaching. He wasn't prepared to go in that Minnesota game. Jones was playing peekaboo with us. He didn't know when he was going to play and start. So we had to throw this young man on the Monday night game, and he got killed. So I felt like the team let him down for the coaching. You can't do a player like that. You know, you should have had him getting reps through the week. So I'm not going to give up on Karan, and that's my favorite out of the 3. His athleticism just jumps out to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the other half of the Bears Den podcast has stepped in the building. I've been talking about this dude for I don't know how many days, man. I hit him up and said, bro, can you come to the show? And Andy said he's bowling right now. So I said, dang, I ain't going to get the OG. Get Chicago Clarence. The Chicago Clarence is in the building. I'm so hyped, man. I can't believe that he's in here right now, man. So, bro, we're going to go through some of the topics that we've been doing already. That's to get your perspective, man. We talked about Coast and Loveland. We talked about the 2nd-round picks. Now we're talking about the 4th and 3rd-round picks, the left tackle position for camp. But I'm going to just get your opinion real quick. We're just going to blow through these. We got 145 people in here right now. So shout out to the 145 people that's in here. So just to get your thoughts, because you weren't in here earlier, what's your thoughts on Coast and Loveland, man? Was this a reach, or did you have somebody else in mind? Did you have Trenches in mind? The defensive line? What was your thoughts, Chicago Clarence?
First of all, thank you guys for having me on. It's always a pleasure. My initial thoughts was I was pretty shocked because I didn't think that I thought if we went tight end that was probably going to be Warren. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man, I was a bit taken back. But for me, I know a lot. We've been on this show, we've been on your show, we've been on my show, and I think that we all are feeling like that we want to rock with Ben Johnson. And I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt for right now. This it's not how I would have gone, but he knows how he wants to run his offense. He knows the type of players that he wants to run his offense. So until we start playing games and I see how the offense comes together, the teams comes together, I'm not going to criticize. It's not what I would have done, but all I know is it better damn work.
Right, so we're going to keep it moving. We're going to talk about the second round picks, man. You weren't here for this, but, shout out to you, man. I got to give you respect. I got to give you the floor. So we took Luther Burden, the third, 39th overall pick. We took Shemar Turner, the 62nd pick. Then we took Ozzie, 56. I can't lie, Chicago, Clarence, we talked about this. We might have two blue chip players in that tackle right there and that wide receiver, man. So what are your thoughts on this, on these three guys right here?
Well, Luther Burden, they're perceiving him to be a weapon. If you look at what we're doing and the players that we're trying to take, it's eerily similar that he's trying to attract players that he thinks that's going to fit the offense that he ran in Detroit. They think that Luther Burden can play the role of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and like I said, I ain't going to criticize until I actually see it coming to fruition. This Trapilo guy, the only thing that worries me is if we play him at right tackle and we try to move Darnell Wright to left tackle. We not learned about moving players out of position that they have played, and why didn't we just go after a left tackle and if we feel like we wanted to solidify a spot, you solidified your spot with Darnell Wright at right tackle. Why in hell would you then turn around and go and move him to try to make, you're trying to stick a round peg into a square hole. Stop doing that. When we had, when we had Kyle Long, Kyle Long was all set at guard. He was a Pro Bowl guard. Why do we start moving him around? You start to see his health deteriorate. You started to see his play slip because we kept trying to stick a round peg into a square hole. Stop doing that. When you get your spot solidified, then go get somebody else to solidify that other spot instead of bringing him in to put into a spot that you already got taken care of. You're not going to go out there and draft another quarterback when you feel like you got your quarterback right now. You got that spot solidified. You ain't going out there to take Shadur Sanders. You ain't going out there to take Cam Ward because you already got your guy. So why do we do that at other positions? If you get your spot set, go get somebody who already fits that set and put them in that spot. That's my only criticism.
So what did you think about Shemar Turner, man? Do you like him? I know we need help in the trenches because Billings is getting older. Grady Jarrett, he's nice, but he's getting older. But they got somebody, and I thought that it went the way I thought it would go, except for that wide receiver. I didn't expect us to take a wide receiver, but the tackle, the offensive lineman and that defensive part, but that wide receiver, I didn't see that. But once it was explained to me that he's pretty much been the number one wide receiver since high school, and everything like that. He's a weapon. It was almost like he had first round grades and everything. It was like he was almost too good to pass up. But this defensive tackle right here, Shemar Turner, man, what are your thoughts on him?
Well, the only thing about him is he needs to be coached up. He was very inconsistent in college at that position. They didn't feel like that he rushed the passer enough, but he's really good against the run. I think that this is a depth piece. It's what we were talking about on both the shows about adding depth to all these positions. And Ben Johnson said it in his post-draft comment. He was like, people are going to have to go out there and earn spots. Nothing is going to be given to anybody. Every depth piece is going to have to be taken. Nobody should be able to walk in the door and expecting to get the keys to the house. You're going to have to earn it. This guy's going to have to earn it. And I think it's good because Jarrett has got a lot of miles on them tires, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of wear and tear on that. So they need somebody to step in. He can play the 3 technique. Who's to say, Jarrett might get a couple of run early in the game, and then you bring this guy in there. They already say they're going to kick Deo inside, and then you still got the other guys that was already on the team. So I like this move. Out of the later rounds, this is the one I like the most.
I love it, man. We're going to keep it moving. We'll get your opinions on the gutsy part of the draft, man. Like, this might not be so easy. A lot of people probably had these guys on their mock draft in the 3rd and 4th rounds. I think I had a Emeka Egbuka, but his ass went first round. It was then we had Xavier Watts. We had all those guys we talked about on our pre-draft podcast with everybody. None of the guys we wanted, we ended up with, I don't think, not even one. So what are your favorite? What is one of your favorite pick right here? You got a guard in Luke Newman. You got a running back in Kyle. You got a linebacker in Ruben, and you got a corner in Zah. So What do you think of these guys right here, man?
To be honest with you, with these picks right here, I kind of think that Poles was throwing stuff against the wall to see what stuck. I didn't understand any of this stuff right here, man. Because you traded back, we could have got running backs to fill that need. You know, he had better be holding on to some cards, man, to where we get a running back in free agency. Because when I seen him trade back, and then we started pulling these guys, and none of them that, you know, you didn't even have Monahan come in for a visit. Why are we drafting him? We could have made moves. You know what I'm saying? We could have got the kid out of Iowa. You know, hell, I would have been fine if you would have taken Scatterbo. At least we know who he is. You know, he was going to fit the purpose that you said that you want to run. I don't understand these dudes right here. Now, I know that the knock on Scatterbo was said that he tends to put the ball on the ground. Okay, if that's the reason why you telling me that, but then there was still other moves that you could have made. You know, you could have got Travion Henderson had you've been willing to trade. Why didn't we go up and get him? We knew he fits the purpose that you said you was going to need, unless you telling me that you're happy coming back with Johnson, you're happy with coming back with Swift, then you're going to add this kid to the mix, and then let's not forget Ian Willing, who I did like a lot before he got hurt. You know, but there are reports out there that we're going to try to talk about, you know, getting Nick Chubb. You know, bro. You know, Chubb is only 29 years old, but man, he's got a bad long history of injuries.
He don't have no ACLs, man.
You know, I don't even understand why we'd even do that, man. But at the end of the day,
fans, man, them the fans, bro. Like ever since the Chicago Bears Twitterverse, they were talking about they wanted to trade up 10 to 5 to get Ashton Jeanty. Y'all can't talk about football with me no more, man. You guys, whoever was pushing that narrative about doing that, I'll never talk football with you. And the same ones that are talking about what were we talking about? What's current we were talking about right here?
Oh, you talking about Nick Chubb?
Yeah, now they doing a narrative with Nick Chubb. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all gotta stop, man. Like, y'all really gotta stop. But I think we left off on the left tackle position. I think I was going to Allen. With this, man. I think I had asked CJ about the left tackle position. It's gonna be pretty good. But Allen, man, you said your favorite was Karan. Okay, so we left off with Allen, who started it off with CJ. So, Andy, man, what are your thoughts on this left tackle position going forward, bro?
Whew. This is the spot in training camp is kind of open for business. I agree with Chicago Clarence 100%. I do not want to even think about moving Darnell Wright to left tackle.
That's why
I hate it when they do. I hate it when they do that stuff too. Leave the guys where they belong. He belongs at right tackle. He's a right tackle. I suspect they're gonna go with Braxton Jones unless he can't go. But then I think it comes down to Karan and Ozzie. And it wouldn't surprise me if Ozzie is. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if Braxton can't go, one of these two is going to be our left tackle. I mean, we didn't draft Karan last year in the third round to not be a star one day, or I mean a starter. But Ozzie predominantly is a right tackle. I could see Ozzie being our left tackle though, or else they could do what we don't want them to and move Darnell to left tackle and give Ozzie the right tackle. That's what I think they're probably going to do. It wouldn't shock me if they do that at all. That's stuff we do.
And I'm gonna say something else, Andy and Carl Clarence. Don't forget about the agent for the left tackle position. Now, Darnell Wright, he'll want that left tackle money, man.
Yeah.
So if he can go out there and get that job done,
that's true.
I'm pretty sure his agent is like, that's another 30-40 million just on a position switch.
Yeah.
Ooh. So Chicago Clarence, left tackle position going to be hot, man. This is going to be probably my favorite battle. I don't really see too many battles in camp. I think wide receiver can get a little bit testy, but I don't think nothing's going to change as far as the depth chart, as far as DJ Moore and Rome. But I do think that third wide receiver spot could get taken by Luther Bedard. So, but what are your thoughts on the left tackle position, man? Like, you know, do you like Karan? Do you like, you know, Braxton, the old man, or you like that young boy right there? I think I'm going to take the chance on the 6'8" dude. You know what I mean? I think he's going to emerge as a camp favorite. and he actually might end up being a left tackle. But what do you think, though?
When I see these national pundits, these quote unquote supposedly experts, start talking about our team, the team that I watch every single week, the team that I go back and look at film on, looking at plays that broke down, looking at why plays broke down, and I don't even pretend to be a football coach. I don't even pretend to be a top-notch analyst, but I got common sense. Don't come in here and tell me that my offensive line has been rebuilt and try to sell the narrative that it's a finished product, which is the reason why I didn't want the Bears to go in and try to trade up to get Jeanty, because the job is not done. Did you do a good job attacking the problems? Yes. But did you finish the job? You did not. Don't come and try to sell to me that you are okay with Braxton Jones coming in even 100% healthy and tell me he's your option at left tackle. But now you're going to tell me that he's still coming in injured and you're going to be okay with rolling with him to protect your future, your franchise quarterback? Hell no. Hell no. You know, you have turned around and you have wasted our time year after year after year after year, trotting people out there to be your quarterback and not sufficiently protecting them. And you're about to do it again if you give me this trash. Don't talk to me about Braxton Jones. Don't talk to me about a guy who's been playing right tackle in college, who plays some left tackle sparingly, but he comes in, you draft him, you put him in at right tackle, and he ain't even a Pro Bowl at that position, and then you want to turn around and move him to left tackle because you want to draft somebody else to come in and play right tackle, and then you want to sell to me that the offensive line is finished? Hell no. You got to do what's right. Why didn't we go in and attack this position with some good? If you wanted to trade up and get a guy, then you should have traded up and got a left tackle. I would have been fine with that. But don't come talk to me and tell me that if Jeanty would have fell to us at 10, we was going to draft him and you was going to tell us that, oh, okay, everything was okay. That's the reason why I posted that the Raiders saved us from ourselves. Because we continue to make the same mistakes, man.
Yeah, you're right, bro. Yeah, I said the same thing. Like, man, you're right, because I think we would have moved up, man. I think Ryan Poles would have pushed that for sure.
And that's the reason why I'm upset that we went and got a tight end in the draft, because you only make moves like that when you feel like you have addressed all your team's needs. I mean, and then you turn around and you go back and you give us a guard and a right tackle in the later rounds. So you're trying to tell me that you already solidified the left tackle? What planet do you live on? What games do you watch? The Chicago Bears play 17 games a season. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me if you have invested your time like I have, like Andy has had, like you guys have had, into watching this team every week, there's no way you can come back with the thought of this team is complete when it comes to the offensive line. It is not. And then, oh, by the way, you ain't attacked this yet. We didn't get an edge rusher. Where's our edge rusher at? Who is going to go after the quarterback? Yeah. You had all these picks. You traded down and accumulated 3 more picks, and you still didn't go out there and get the guy. Green was right there for the taking. You let him go to Baltimore. So what's your plan?
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chicago clearance, man. That's that legend right there, man. The man's going to come here and talk that talk, baby. Anybody want to follow that up with something? Because we didn't get an edge rusher. Did we even draft the center?
Well, they talk about Newman might move to center, though. They were saying that he played a lot of center at, I think he was at William and Mary. Yeah. No, Holy Cross. Was it Holy Cross?
Yeah, he was at a little college for 4 years.
Yeah, so he's the interior lineman.
Okay. Okay, but then we also got before we get out of here, we also got we signed the kicker, man. Like a lot of people was really getting tired of what's the boy named Cairo Santos, man. We got 159 people in here. Shout out to everybody that's still watching us. We're going on an hour and 5 minutes. But CJ, your thoughts on we signed the kid from Michigan State, man. One of my followers actually called this out in March. He was just like, is anybody interested in Jonathan Kim? And that was way before that was during the season. And he called it. So we got a new kicker, man. So CJ, what are your thoughts, man? This kid plays at Michigan State. He plays in cold weather. So you gotta have somebody that can kick the cold weather. So what's your thoughts?
Well, G-Walk, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not seen tape on Jonathan Kim at all. I hope he has a good leg. That's all I can say. But that's what probably what Carlos Santos don't have is a good leg. But hopefully this kid got a good leg to keep the ball 50 yards, 55 yards, whatever how many yards the Bears need to kick it. You know, but I haven't seen too much tape on him to know too much about him.
So Alan, what's your thoughts, man? We need a new kicker or what, Alan? What's your thoughts, man? Because I think we did. I absolutely think we did. But we'll go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I think he was like 13 for 15 this year. I think, if I remember correctly, from I want to say he's pretty accurate from 50, man. And that's really good for college.
I think it's career out 58, but go ahead.
Yeah, man. So anything over 55, well, I'm gonna take that back. Anything pushing 60 now is a blue chip kill. Like, you know, back in the day it was like 50. 50 was the mark, but now it's guys are kicking from the midfield now. So his high is 58. So that means his range might be 62. So, you know, I'm gonna see what I know. Cairo can't kick 58. I know that for a fact. But he's accurate. He's accurate, and he just got a low trajectory. And you can't fix that because your trajectory is really about your leg strength. So it's nothing you really can do right there. So it's just a matter of technique. But Cairo's technique has been had. The NFL has noticed Cairo, and the jig is up. So basically, we got to bring in another kicker. And hopefully he'll push Cairo out the door.
Back. So Chicago clearance, man. I know you feel the same way as everybody else. You talked about the kicker position all last season. Andy did too. But what's your thoughts on this, man? This was right on time or what?
Yeah, they want to get a guy that got a little stronger leg than Cairo Santos. And to be honest with you, you know, we shouldn't be trying to attempt no 55-plus yard field goals in, you know, the weather in Chicago with the way that damn wind blows. You know, Santos, for the most part, for my money, has been pretty accurate. And, you know, you got to think about even the last game, man. You know, that wasn't no chip shot. It's against your hated rival. It's in their building. And that dude went up there, and it takes stones to go up there and make that kick. However, this guy, Kim, is supposed to have a stronger leg. He's supposed to be pretty accurate, you know, but you want to see me lose my shit, miss extra points. And this dude right here missed extra. He missed 2 last season. Cairo Santos has been, you know, known to miss an extra point here and there, and I can't condone that. We got to put points on the bill. You know, the Chicago Bears struggle enough to get touchdowns, and when we are fortunate to get one, your ass go up there and miss the extra point. You know, that's real quick to get that. You know, that's a real easy way to get in my doghouse, because now you've relegated us to 2 field goals, which is all we seem to be able to score anyway. But I like the move. You're going to make Santos earn it. And if he's happened to take that job from Santos, then he would have definitely have earned it.
And that's what Ben Johnson been saying. You got to earn your position, man. And I love that, because it sets the tone. Like, nothing's going to be given. Nothing's going to be easy. I mean, certain players, you already know that that's not going to really affect them. But the guys that are supposed to be leaders are supposed to act like those guys are the last man on the bench. So I'm expecting the leadership within Caleb Williams, Brady Jarrett, all those guys to work just as hard as the guy that's the 4th wide receiver or the 6th lineman off the bench, man. So nobody's going to be able to get away with nothing. Everybody's going to be held accountable to a certain standard coming from Ben Johnson. So nobody's going to be above the law, so to speak. And I love that. So when this kid comes out there and earns his right to be the kicker full time, we will know that he was better than Cairo Santos. And that's the same way with Ozzie being the left tackle, or Karan earns it. So we're going to be able to see it. I don't think that this is going to be a situation going into camp, rookie mini camp or full-blown camp, that something's going to be given just because you're a veteran, especially veterans that are over the hill, somewhat middle age. If that young boy come in there and take it, they're going to come in there and take it. We're all going to know that they earned it. But Andy, we need another kicker, man, or you were cool with Santos, like I say. But I think we needed another one, because these guys, you got to get a guy, man. Like, you building a farm. You want to build a farm with offensive linemen. You want to build a farm with running backs, wide receivers. They're doing that. So getting a kicker one that's been kicking in Michigan State for a while now, even though he missed a couple. What do you think about this signing?
I mean, teams always sign a second kicker for training camp. I mean, it's automatic because it's just too much kicking for one kicker. Their leg will be worn out before the season starts. But other than that, I mean, it's all good things are said about him. He's got a big leg. He's accurate with a big leg. I mean, he could take Santos' job, and he'd be a lot cheaper than Santos. And if he doesn't make the team, he's probably a practice squad candidate. So having him is nothing. I mean, it's nothing new to sign a kicker for camp. Because you can't, like I said, you can't have one kicker doing all the kicking. His leg will be dead. So signing him, and if he pushes Santos out the door, so be it. And if he doesn't, we can just stash him on the practice squad, hopefully. So, I mean, I like the signing. It brings competition. Like you guys just said, you know, Ben Johnson's saying you got to earn your spot. Everybody's going to earn their roster spot.
He's very direct, man. I love it. He has a very A-type personality, man. He was on that press conference with Ryan Poles, and he didn't blink for like 2 minutes, bro, until somebody said something to him. So Ben Johnson is not one of those people that's going to be super emotional and holding you by your hand all the time. That shit is not flying here, man. You can tell. He means what he says. He's very direct. He have damn near no facial expression, depending on what he's talking about. So I felt it. I know a lot of fans felt it out there. Like, Ben Johnson is going to get the best out of these players, and he's going to hold them accountable. But I think that was going to be our last segment. So we're just going to get everybody's final thoughts, man. So we're just going to get everybody's final thoughts real quick. We're just going to talk about the draft. What do you guys think overall about the draft? And then we're going to get up out of here. So, CJ, we're going to kick it off with you. Then we're going to go to Allie. Then we're going to end it with the Bears Den podcast.
All right. What I thought about the draft, I thought the Bears did get a couple players that were needed. Other players, I don't know, but you know, they went out, they got a tackle. You know, they went out, they got a defensive tackle. They got a guard slash center. So they did get a couple of guys that were needed. Maybe they reached for a couple of players, but hey, I mean, that's just the way it goes. You know, you gotta give Johnson and Ryan Poles a lot of credit. What they done with the Bears team in free agency and in the draft. And that's all I gotta say on that.
Allen, man, you up, man? What's your final thoughts on the draft, man? Happy? What's your grade, man? Everybody, what's your grade too?
Yeah, my grade is a C, man. It's a couple of reaches in there. The linebacker and Loveland. It's gonna take me a while. I'm trying to get on the Titanic. Trying to anyway, but I'm just anyway. I just felt a couple of reaches. I love Burton. That was the best play I think we got in the draft. But I think we need to talk about the cornerback position, and it's a lot. It's a lot of depth at that corner position. That guy Zah Frazier, he is long like Antonio Cromartie. He's like real long. And so I believe, man, that it's gonna be some competition in that room, man. If you don't come to work in that cornerback room, Al Harris is getting you out of there. So I really appreciate that they went and got another corner, because I was saying that on another group that we need another corner, because 6'3" and 190 and the highlights I seen, that kid plays a lot of cat and mouse with the quarterback, and that's instinctual. So, man, I really believe, man, you know, it's going to be a great look in that cornerback. We're talking about the offensive line, good competition, but the competition is going to be really good in that cornerback room this year. So I applaud the Bears for getting depth this year, so we ain't got to worry about going out and getting free agency. We draft in depth. That's what good organizations do. We draft good depth so we can manage our own talent. So going forward, I still think we need to bring in a veteran running back. I don't know if it's Chubb, but it's always gonna be cuts after the draft. So it might be another running back get cut after the draft that we could pick up. But I think we need to get a veteran running back that come in and kind of solidify that running back room.
And I love it, man. Before I go to you guys, the Bears Den podcast, Andy, I'm gonna go with you, man. So Andy, tell the people where they can find you guys at, man, before you give your final thoughts on the draft.
Yes, thank you guys for the invite. As always, it's been a blast. I am part of the Bears Den podcast. Got my boy Chicago Clarence here with me. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. My final thoughts was this was Ben Johnson's first draft as a head coach. And this is a big draft for him. He's going to prove himself too. I mean, the man is 0-0. I mean, we hope we got this job right. We hope we got the guy right. We don't know that yet. He's never coached a single game as a head coach. I mean, he's 0-0. But overall, I felt that Ben Johnson has a big say in personnel. I think that was probably part of his signing. I think that was part of his contract. I mean, I felt this was a Ben Johnson draft more so than Ryan Poles.
Yes.
The first two picks told me this was a Ben Johnson draft.
Yes.
I mean, Loveland, I'm like, Alan, that one's got to grow on me.
It's got to grow.
Got to grow on me. I'll give him a chance. And Burton, I felt like the value was just too great. I felt first round talent. You got to take him. If Henderson would have been there, I think it would have been I would have been curious to have been in that room if Henderson would have been there. Who they would have gone with between Burton and Henderson. That would have been it's been reported that they loved Henderson. They loved Henderson. They wanted Henderson. They thought he would be there at 39. And he wasn't. But I'm ready for the season to start. I'm ready to see if our coach is who we think he is, and he can go out there and put wins together and put this all together. I mean, we don't know that. We hope we got the right guy for once. So we shall see. But I think it's for real. I think we got the right guy for once at the head coaching position.
Chicago Clarence, man, give us your final thoughts and well said about Andy, man, and I'm gonna close it out. But what are your final thoughts about the draft, man, or anything so far up until this point?
Well, a lot of things is on my mind, guys, and when we start talking about the draft and our team needs and where we want to go as a franchise, a lot of things, just tend to worry me. We still, with the amount of resources that we had to us, we still, at this moment, have question marks on this football team. And there are question marks that could have easily been solved. Let me point you in the direction of the safety position. Our starting safety is a history of concussions. We don't even know if he's going to be able to finish this season out. The other guys you got backing him up are on expiring contracts. How come we didn't make a move at the safety position? We need an edge rusher. We have got to have somebody that has the ability to speed the quarterback's clock up. Too many times we have watched marginal quarterbacks, quarterbacks sit back there with time and pick our defense apart. I don't care how good your secondary is. I don't care how good your linebacker core is. If you are not getting that quarterback's ass on the ground, or if you're not making him speed up his progressions, any quarterback, I'm talking about even Mitchell Trubisky's sorry ass, could sit back there in that pocket and pick you apart. We have got to be able to have somebody on this football team other than Montez Sweat be able to get to the quarterback. And then you look at the left tackle position. That is the one spot on the offensive line that I do not want to have a question mark at. It is the most important position. If your quarterback happens to be right-handed, then you have got to be able to protect his blind side. And once again, we're going to open up the season right now. It may change, but once again, we're going to be going into a season with a question mark at that position, and I am not feeling it. Then I looked at the reports today. The Washington Commanders have just, agreed on a deal to get another $1 billion stadium. This is going to be their second, and we ain't even done another one yet. What the fuck is the holdup on getting the stadium? Money. Chicago Bears, show me that you have the ability to do business. Every football team in the NFL prints money. Don't tell me it's a money problem, because you went up there and you bought that property in Arlington Heights and you didn't have the tax situation straight up. There's nobody within their right mind that has those resources that would do that. You know, is any one of you guys willing to go buy a car and not look under the hood? You know what I'm saying? Do you not start that bitch up? Do you not test drive it? So why in God's name would you go buy property that you know you got to pay taxes on and not have it in writing what those taxes are going to be? Stop jerking us around back and forth between downtown Chicago or Arlington Heights. Get this damn deal done. Show the rest of the NFL that you know how to take care of business, because you ain't running your business right. And if you ain't running it right outside the stadium, how the hell are we going to believe that you're going to do it on the inside? That's my take.
Man, great stuff by everybody, from CJ to Allen to Andy to Chicago Clarence, from the stadium talk to the reaching for picks to us not getting safety. But I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to close it out. The Chicago Bears are in the rebuild. This has been John's first year as a head coach. This is Caleb Williams' second year as a starting quarterback. Montez Sweat is coming probably back healthier than he was last year. The left tackle position is not solidified. It's not established. We got quarterbacks coming in to take people. We got defensive tackles that need to be coached up. We got Karan that needs to be coached up. He's a blank slate. So it's a lot of things going on in the Chicago Bears world that needs to be taken with a grain of salt. People need to be patient with this team. But I do like the fact that Ben Johnson, this was his draft. We saw that from the number 10th overall pick was a tight end. We saw it from an offensive tackle. We saw it from, Ozzie, the big guy, the 6'8" guy. We saw it from a wide receiver. So we cannot say that Ben Johnson does not know how to do talent. Ben Johnson knows how to scout. So the things that Ben Johnson is looking for, he's already seen it before. So if you see a wide receiver that looks like Amir Rock, go get him. If you see a tight end that looks like a Porter, go get him. You know what I'm saying? If you're seeing guys that look like one of them guys from Detroit Lions offensive line, which was probably the best offensive line the last couple of years, go get one of them. So I have a lot of confidence in Ben Johnson. I have a lot of confidence in his attitude and his approach about no block, no rock. Guys are going to have to earn it. Then he said one thing on the presser when they asked him about, I guess, who's getting the ball or who's going to be getting reps with the ball. He straight up said, I'm more concerned about the person, how they're going to look when they don't get the ball. Yeah. That stuff right there vibrates through a locker room, man. So the fact that you got guys like DJ Moore, who's not always the best leader on the field, that does always have a good body language like he's supposed to, it's going to stick out. We're going to see the guys who are about team, and we're going to see the guys who are about me real soon. The good and the great will be separated real soon, and Ben Johnson's not going to pull no punches. He's very direct, and he's going to get straight to it on the press conferences after this training camps. He's going to let you know who's doing what and who's not doing what they're supposed to do. So I'm hyped, man. A lot of things could have been better in the draft. So the grade I'm giving this draft is probably a B, just because we attacked a lot of positions I think we should have, especially that offensive line. A wide receiver, DJ Moore, is probably not going to be here again. A tight end, Cole Kmet, is out of guaranteed money. We needed another tackle. We just needed more stuff. The safety position, we didn't do that. The pass rush, we didn't do that. So we can't really give him all of it. This is his first draft. And people got to remember, he's not a defensive coach. He's not a defensive coach. He's an offensive-minded coach. So the thought process has changed. It's changed a little bit. So we can't complain about us getting the good offensive players in the draft when we don't get the defensive players that we need to get in the draft. He's not a defensive coach. He's not a defensive coach. So the guard is changing. That's just my final take. That's just my opinion. And we will see you guys when we see y'all. It's probably going to be our last podcast for a while, but I wanted to end it with the great The Bears Den podcast with Andy and Chicago Clarence. These guys know ball. They've been a great follower with us for a long time, going on 2 seasons. So there's no better podcast and Bears fans to ask to come on probably on one of our last shows. We got 188 people in here right now, almost 200 people on live. Shout out to whoever retweeted. Shout out to Celeste. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Phil. Shout out to Adam Whalen. Shout out to Rasheed. Shout out to the Windy City Channel Production. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with me this whole draft. Shout out to Swift Network. Shout out to Samo. Shout out to the Bear Review. Shout out to everybody that's helped build this platform this season, especially on the networking plane and field. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. This is Bears Nation. I'm G Walker. That's CJ. That's Allen. That's Andy. That's the bad guy, Chicago Clarence. And we out. God bless.